When I was growing up, I wasn't surrounded by a lot of aunts or uncles or first cousins like a lot of people in Manning. My extended family all seemed to live everywhere else but Manning. I always wished that I had a cousin who lived close so that we could be the best of friends. Well, I never did get my wish of a cousin living close by, but my wish of having one of them become one of my best friends did come true. And it came true when an unlikely bond formed between me and my cousin Mike. Now, I say unlikely not because we didn't have anything in common, but because out of all my cousins, he lived the furthest away. And so today's magic bean is my cousin Mike. At first, we bonded over the fact that we were almost the same age. And so of course we had to be best friends. And to a pair of 10-year-olds, this thought was pure genius. And as we grew to be teenagers, we realized that it wasn't just age that bonded us together, but our common interests and the fact that out of the whole family, we were the only normal ones. Being teenagers, of course, our understanding or view of what was normal was quite skewed by the fact that we lacked a lot of life experience, and what was abnormal back then would probably seem really normal now. And as I said, Mike and I didn't live anywhere near each other. He lived in far southern Saskatchewan and I lived in far northern Alberta. But as technology developed and the internet arrived, we were able to communicate a lot easier than before. We spent many an hour on MSN chat. We sent hundreds of emails to each other. We spent time on the phone, and occasionally we even wrote each other handwritten letters. Mike quickly became one of my best friends, and I cherished the time that we actually got to spend with each other in person, which was not very often. In fact, I would tell my parents that if Mike wasn't going to be at a family function, then I wasn't gonna go. They still made me go, but it was infinitely better when Mike was there with me. I shared almost all of my secrets with him, and we spent a great deal of time talking about all the trials and tribulations of what it was like to be a teenager. He really understood what it was like to be a teenager. He was one of the most caring, generous, and loving people I have ever had the fortune of knowing in my life, and one of the most intelligent people I have ever met. When I was 20 years old, Mike passed away, and for the first time in my life, I truly understood what loss was. To feel that a piece of you is just gone, and to know that your life from that point will never be the same again, and that you've just entered onto a path in your life that you never could have expected. I was always so thankful that 2 weeks before he did die, I was able to talk to him on the phone and tell him that I loved him. I do miss him every day. I miss him the most when something really great happens and I want to call him or email him and tell him all about it. And I really miss him when there's a reference, any kind of reference, to The Princess Bride. Mike loved that movie, so much so that he could recite like the entire movie from memory. In fact, the last time I saw him, he recited an entire scene from that movie, and I spent the whole time rolling around on the floor, laughing my head off, so much so that my stomach hurt. And that's what I remember the most about Mike. Laughter and happiness and love and joy. Mike could get me laughing like nobody else, and I truly miss that. I am so very thankful for the time that we had together. I'm so thankful that I got to be a part of Mike's life. He was definitely one of a kind. So this video is for Mike. I loved him so much. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all join me again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.